Ty Bartellin with another edition of Coach's Corner, and I guess a little side player profile with Coach Aaron Pounds of the Howland Girls Tigers basketball program and one of the seniors, Riley Villwalk, also joining me today. Coach, this is always one of the fun programs I love to talk about year in and year out. You guys are always competitive. You're one of my favorite coaches I get a chance to chat with. Talk to me what you're seeing so far out of the practices, too. You got one of your seniors with you. What have you been seeing out of the practices, and what stood out from the girls so far?
We had a great summer program. So I think it started back in June. We went to Cedar Point. We went to Eastern Ohio. We did West Branch League. And the girls played really, really well. Everybody knows what we graduated last year. So I think everybody had expectations about us being down, but I didn't really see much of that. They played really, really well as a team. We've had some really, really crazy, tough scrimmages. Laurel, Stowe, Brush, WRA. I don't know if you ever heard of WRA. Holy smokes. Stowe and Maslin Jackson. And then the other day we had Girard in Springfield. But the girls have been playing well. You know, they too know what we graduated. So they've all been chomping at the bit to step up.
Riley, how do you see this as an opportunity for you going into senior year? You're now one of the leaders on the team. You're one of the ones that the girls are looking to try to lead them to some success this year.
Yeah, I'm super excited. We're all really excited for the season to start and we're just ready to get after it.
Coach, when you talk about this team going into this season, obviously Riley, one of your senior leaders, what are some other big names we can look forward to seeing on the floor this year that are going to be helping contribute to try and get those wins?
We're going to have 3 seniors this year: Riley, Marshayla Marsh, and then Sophia Powell. Sophia Powell is one of the quote unquote 2 returning starters. We're going to lean on her and Riley a lot. Soph's got the most experience, varsity experience. She plays a lot of AAU. She works at her craft. Probably the next big name that you guys will be talking about for a couple of years. We don't have any juniors. 3 seniors, then we have a sophomore class and a freshman class. Maya Kubancic, I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah. She's going to be a beast. She's an overall athlete. Plays every sport I can think of every season. You put that girl on a ping pong table and she's probably gonna win. Just a great overall athlete, and even everybody talks about her being an athlete, but she's an even better kid. Like she's always in a good mood, you know, raising everybody's spirits, laughing, joking around, being a goofball like me. So she's another big name to watch this year. And we got a girl stepping into the point guard role, Mia Thomas. She's going to be important. And then there's going to be several girls that are going to be rotating into the varsity, that 5th varsity starter spot. Girls like Bailey Villwalk, Riley's cousin, Talia Rischel, Tegan Bell, Abby Henry. Then there's 2 freshmen that are going to get quite a bit of varsity minutes, Mackenzie Scrabus and Mary Moy. So between those 10 or 11 girls, those girls are going to see a lot of varsity time. So pay attention to those names.
Riley, when I talk about your game in particular, what are some of the things you were looking on developing yourself on the hardwood, and what are some things as a leader you were looking to develop yourself going into this senior year for your team?
Yeah, as a leader, I would like to encourage the girls more and be positive light instead of negative. And as a player, I would like to work as playing as a team together and bringing the team to play as one and not individually.
The success you get from your team each and every year, Coach Pounds, has always been very impressive to me. And I mean, you always have one of those girls step up and they're the next, it feels like MVP or competing for MVP of the conference and then the area beyond. You do a good job getting a lot out of your girls year in and year out. And I think a lot of it is the conference you play into, the schedule you also put around them too. You don't take any shortcuts with it. You make sure it's very tough. Talk about the conference you play in, how tough it is, how you think you're going to fare in it this year. And then also talk about some of those non-conference games you're excited for this year.
Well, just touching on what you said, the girls, as far as their talent, that's mostly them. I mean, some of these girls start playing basketball in, 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade. And then a lot of credit goes to their parents too for spending all that money on AAU and traveling around with them. And this young lady's got a basketball court inside the business her parents work at.
That's awesome.
So Howland girls are built different in that sense. Before I even got here, Howland girls basketball has always been a powerhouse in Trumbull County. And that's touching or kind of a prelude into the schedule that we're going to talk about. There aren't many teams in Trumbull County that want to play us, period, point blank. Warren has to because they're in our conference. Great team. And then we have Lakeview this year. Outside of that, I don't think we play anybody else in Trumbull County, and no one else really wants to play us. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that, but come play us. If you're in Trumbull County, come play us. So, yeah, out of conference, we got St. Vincent, St. Mary's. We got Akron Hoban. We got Green. We got Hathaway Brown. I don't know if there's a private school in the eastern half of Ohio that we don't play.
You can fill it up with that.
D1, D2, D3. And all that credit, as far as my schedule goes, that goes to my athletic director, Andrea Faranek. She does a great job with that. She knows what we have. We compete. Even if we were to go into the tournament this year around 500, I told the girls about Laurel, the team from last year. They went into the tournament, I think 11-11, maybe 12-10. They were seeded, and they played in the state championship game because of their schedule, because they were battle tested. So, you guys are going to come out with your rankings. Other people in the area are going to come out with their rankings, and we might not be as high, but I'm telling you, you guys are going to base it just on records. They don't play the schedule we play, so we'll focus on getting ready for the tournament, and we're going to battle every single one of those teams. Oh, another one. Early on, we play Allegheny from PA.
Yeah, that's not no pushover team either.
They got D1 prospects and whatnot. So,
Coach,
Ursuline, another private school, Ursuline, and that's just out of conference. I apologize if I missed anybody out of conference, but then you get inside of our conference, and it's us, Canfield, Harding, Boardman, and Austintown, and everybody that paid attention to the season last year, they know how competitive it was, and I expect more of the same this year. It's literally anybody's league as far as who's going to win it or whatever. So, one game goes our way, one call from a ref goes our way, and it might have been us instead of Boardman last year. I mean, it's that close. So it'll be fun. It'll be competitive. We're looking forward to it.
No, I know the goal. I know the goals of the Tigers every year are to be able to cut down some nets and multiple nets too. That's definitely one of the first and foremost too. But I also know you guys take that AAC pretty serious, and you want to see yourselves at top of that. Talk to me a little bit about your journey though in basketball, Riley. Coach Pounds mentioned how long a lot of these girls have played. You obviously have access to a basketball hoop with your parents' business whenever you want. When did the journey start for you in the sport of basketball? What's some of your earliest memories in the sport?
I started playing basketball in like 4th grade, with the girls in my grade. We had like a league outside of Howland. And then I started playing AAU with Ohio Panthers in like 6th, 7th grade, and then I played all the way up until high school started, and then I started high school soccer. So I was kind of busy with that, so I couldn't really do AAU in the off season. So
she's a soccer superstar too.
Yeah, so she does a little bit of everything too. How do you balance that time out? How do you time management, playing multiple sports and being a good student as well?
Yeah, each season I focus on that sport. Like during basketball season, I focus on basketball, and during soccer season, I focus on soccer. And then like during the off season, it's usually travel soccer most of the time. Like I travel around a lot.
Very athletic, and I mean that's just all what the Howland ladies are over there. You guys have super athletes on all fronts too of sports. Coach Pounds, I talk about this schedule. I talk about how these girls are always battle tested and prepared by the end of the season. But when you talk about this particular team's strengths, maybe this team's identity, what would you say, I guess, in the preseason look, what would you say some of those strengths are, the identity of this team is going into this year?
Teamwork. We don't have the same number of superstars that we had last year. Alyssa Masucci, Gia Hozo, Mia Barish, Jessie DeSalvo, Mia Silvers. Those girls would have been number ones on any team in Trumbull County, in my opinion. We were blessed that they were all on Howland, and obviously Masucci stood out above most of them, but all of those girls at one point, you know, they felt like they wanted to put the cape on and take over for their team. And we weren't necessarily as good of a team. I think this year, our girls realized that they all need each other. Those girls from last year, they probably could have played 1-on-5 and still won most of their games. These girls aren't necessarily as talented as them in some regards, but I think they're going to be a better team.
When we talk about your role in this team, Riley, too, how do you see your role? How do you see yourself fitting in this machine to make everything go and get those wins and have that type of season?
I definitely, like, even in soccer, like, I'm always looking for the next pass and the next person that I can get the ball to if I don't have an open shot for myself. Like, I'm always looking for other people to do things too.
When you look at yourself throughout athletics too, has it been more the games that you've remembered or the times aside from the games and the times with the team?
Definitely both. Like, winning is definitely amazing. Like, I love winning, but like off the field, we hang out, we do things after the games, like before games. Like, it's just fun.
Which one of your favorite memories within the sport of basketball?
Every year we do like a scavenger hunt type thing, and we always like go around town and like do different activities as teams, and like we compete. So it's fun.
Coach Pounds, we talk about this particular team. You guys, I mean, you always have that growth from game 1 to game 22. So with this particular team, you talk about teamwork being the identity and how you're going to play to your strengths. What are the things you want to see growth-wise from game 1 to game 22? Because I know this Tigers team is going to look a lot different end of the season than they are at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to get to that real quick. Part of their scavenger hunt is showing up at my house and trying to steal my dog.
They steal your dog?
They took my puppy for a ride last year. All right. So this year is going to be about these girls gaining experience and getting some floor time and being ready for that tournament. Like I said, Sophia started a whole lot of games last year. She was a great kid, willing to come off the bench. Understand what that statement means. She was willing to come off the bench sometimes and help, and she started a lot of games. And then Maya Kabancic, she also worked her way into the starting lineup last year. So outside of those two, Riley got some experience, but not much. Nobody else really has a whole lot of varsity playing experience or enough of it, I should say. So getting them to used to the speed of the game and the physicality of the game, that's what the first half of the season is going to be about. And I think with the schedule that we have, we're going to learn that real quick.
Riley, what's the biggest thing you've grown in as a basketball player from freshman year to now? And what's the biggest thing you've grown in as a person from freshman year to now?
I used to be so scared, like during games, and I've definitely got more confident in my shot.
She's still scared.
Stop. Got more confident. And outside of basketball, I've just been focusing on schoolwork and right now, like getting into college and just, yeah.
What's one of the goals for the future after basketball and after high school's over?
I want to major in business. My dad is a business owner for insurance, so I want to follow in his footsteps.
Follow in the family footsteps. I love to hear it. Coach, it's always evident year in and year out, you have a solid connection with your players too. And I know sometimes too, they joke around and they talk about the practices too. And I mean, you throw in the clipboard sometimes too, just because of the situations, but you connect with your players on a different level. It feels like, and they want to play for you. They want to give it 110% every time they're on the floor for you. What is your secret to building that connection with your players, getting the most out of them, and just getting them to be that 110% on the floor all the time?
I think just realizing, and I try to tell the girls often, at the end of the day, basketball is just a game. It's still a game, and games are meant to be fun. You know, you don't sit down and play Connect Four or Monopoly with your friends and family and like get angry. So I goof around more than I should sometimes at practice. It gets me in trouble sometimes. But we're here to have fun. We're here to have a good time. Win, lose, or draw. It's just a game. So they know that I find times when I don't think they're working hard enough, and I'll push them. And other times I'll pull back when I know they're sore or something from a big game the day before. And I think they see that and respect that, and they also know that I'll do anything for them. So they can come to me, and I can come to them, and I always talk to my seniors about things that are going on, and I think some of that trickles down, and the younger girls see that, and it's my wife's not going to like this part, but we're around each other as much as I'm around my regular family, if not more, in some aspects during the season. So it really is, to me, it's a second family. So
you talk about that, Riley. What's one of your favorite Coach Pound practice memories that you have?
He always just jokes around all the time. Like, he has this Donald Duck voice that he does that makes us all laugh all the time. In his dad jokes, he's really into those that aren't really funny sometimes, but
I got the dad joke vibe from you, Coach Pounds. I'm not gonna lie, I did get that vibe from you when we talked before.
what's up?
Coach, I love the way this Howland Tigers team plays year in and year out. Like I said, you guys always are giving it 110% on the floor. One of my theme questions I've been asking coaches this year, though, it goes to the lessons of the game. And you've taught so many young ladies the sport of basketball, how to relate it to their life and how they can be successful in both. But I want to know what the biggest lesson the sport of basketball has taught you.
Tommy, how to be a better leader, how to adjust more to the girls than have the girls adjust to me. At the end of the day, they're my employees, if you will, and that's one of the things I tell them, and I'm their boss, and we got to work together and put the best product out to our fans, our parents, and whatnot. So learning how to lead young people and young ladies, because believe me, it's different between boys and girls. So yeah, just I take away from basketball how to be a better leader.
Same question to you, Riley. What's one of the biggest lessons the sport of basketball has taught you?
I mean, also to be a better leader. I mean, there's ways to like help people, and sometimes like the voice of your words and like how you communicate with people can be better. And I don't know. That's what I've learned.
It's not always what you say.
Final
It's not
question.
always what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final question for the both of you now. Basketball season in the high school realm always reminds me of Thanksgiving, just because tip-off for boys and girls season happens usually right around Thanksgiving. So when we talk about this upcoming season, I want you both to give a shout out to the Howland community, why they need to come out there, support you guys this season, why it's going to be worth their while to watch this Howland Tigers basketball team. But also, I need you both to shout out your favorite Thanksgiving Day dish.
Teamwork's going to make the dream work, baby. That's what it's going to be about this year, playing together as a team. Staying together, we're going to have our highs and our lows, and how we react to that and stick together is going to be important to me. I like mashed potatoes, gravy, corn, and stuffing, turkey, all mixed together.
just filling up.
Nothing separate. Just put it all in one big thing and just mix it all up.
Just a mountain, the Thanksgiving Day mountain. Riley, same question to you. Shout out the community, why they need to come out and support you guys this year for your senior year too. Shout out your favorite Thanksgiving Day dish.
Our community is also, like, always really great, and they always support. I think this year will be a really fun group to watch, and I feel like working as a team will be really fun to see. My favorite Thanksgiving dish is probably my grandma's mac and cheese.
Oh, there's nothing like grandma's homemade mac and cheese. Shout out the rest of your family, other names that you couldn't have done this whole journey without going into your senior year too.
Definitely my mom and my dad and my sister. My sister's also a really good basketball player. She's in middle school. And also my friends and Coach Pounds and my cousin Bailey Vilwalk, because she's on the team. Like, I'm really glad that she's playing with me, and I'm happy.
Giving all the love to the family and everyone that's been there to support you. I love to see it. I love to see your teams each and every year too, Coach Pounds. I'm excited to see you on the floor this year, Riley. You know you're going to catch me sometime down the road too. I'm going to make it out to Howland a time or two this year as well. Since Noah Ricks is up in Orange, he's left a little bit of a vacancy, so I'm going to be filling in and seeing you guys at home sometimes this year.
We'll see you out there in Austintown too.
You'll see me in Austintown as well, but you'll see me on the road as well, Coach. No doubt. No doubt doubt. I'm excited to see this team. I'm excited to see what AAC basketball looks like this year. You hit the nail on the head. It's anybody's crown for the taking, and I'm excited to see who's hungriest for it this year.
All right. Thanks, Ty.
Anytime, Coach. Thank you, Riley, as well. This has been a first edition of Coach's Corner and a player profile with Coach Aaron Pounds and Riley Wilwalk.